lot of and I made the MIDI too.
Oh, really? It sounds cool to start.
Oh, one-man shop.
A little bit of a cyber synth sound, a little bit at the beginning
Yeah.
here. Making me wake everything up here. Ooh, might be something down there. Definitely, we got a nice OTEX base going on here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it took me a long time to figure out the ideal way to start styling this with using OTEX. It just opens up so many possibilities.
I think
Yeah,
like
there's-
bases were the one thing Snacks always complained were hard to do in OTEX, though.
I think, yeah, it's that if you try to make a tech base, it's not going to look like a traditional tech base. It's going to look like an OTEX base.
An OTEX base.
OTEX base, eh?
Tex-Mex base. That sounds delicious. I'd like to take a bite out of a nice big Tex-Mex base.
Spicy metal.
So you do some MIDI stuff too, huh?
Yeah, I like writing music. So I mean, like I used to be in a band. I write like I don't do music stuff. And so
Nice.
Doom was a nice way to kind of, oh, this will be fun. Let's make some video game music. I just find the process of composing MIDI to be a major pain in the ass, which is why I don't do it more often.
Yeah. What do you use?
So what I did with these was, I think it was Tux Guitar, and you basically, I think you tab it out. I think you do it in tablature. I can't remember. Or no, that was something else. It's just not.
Jesus.
So you hit both the switch. Okay, great. Yeah, I was gonna tell you that one thing that people got hung up on was that you have to hit both switches at the beginning there, and they would only hit one.
Oh, I thought that was pretty
yeah.
apparent, personally.
You know, you can never take stuff like that for granted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't apparent necessarily what it would do, but I was like, oh yeah, figured it out at least.
Basically, if you assume, oh yeah, the user will know to do this, there will be a bunch of them that prove you wrong.
Oh, fuck me.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so the only way to get back up on the bridge is if you go back to essentially the beginning of the bridge, and it will lower down like a lift. You have to go all the way back to the beginning
really?
of the bridge. I may have put a teleporter in one of the final versions I published, but I can't remember. But you have to go back that way. You cannot get up any other way, because the whole challenge of the map is to get across all the different sides of this poison area. Yeah.
Ooh, this is
Yeah,
tough.
you're gonna make you work. You're gonna punish you just a little bit for that.
Yes. It's not. But honestly, it's not a bad place to fortify and
Where are you
take on these
going?
monsters. He got mad by the Mancubus, it sounds like, or it looked like.
No, sometimes the pathing, if you get them on a wall just right, they literally just grind the wall, like all the way down. I've seen it happen. It's bizarre. I think it was because I ran this way and he just took the shortest path into the wall and just kept going.
Yeah, I didn't really understand the optimal way to do monster pathing when I was making this map, so I tend to run into that a lot. I still am probably not great at kind of, acknowledging that in my map design.
Ooh, they can fly through those, I'm guessing. So, like,
Yeah, I think so. Which, UDMF, I think you can have it. Yeah, I think I wanted to be able to fly through it, but I can't remember.
okay, there we
So
go.
yeah,
So now
that's
we're
the
cooking.
progression. So the whole trick of the map is you're gonna find the keys to open up the subsequent bridges on that center platform.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
But the way I was kind of going for is that like players are going to go across that bridge into the little center area, and then they'll be chased by the Cacos and the Revenant and everything else to continue like up that part. So it was meant to kind of like just put pressure on the player to go like a specific way and be sort of like a hot start.
Yeah, it's definitely punishing to like, cause like the Revenant part is definitely like an oh shit. I have just the pump shotgun and I'm close range with these guys, so I just jumped off. There's like
Yes.
sometimes you just assume that like, oh, there'll be an easy way up there, but it does make you have to think a bit more. Oh, jeez. But yeah, now that I've got the SSG, I'm really cooking. Yeah, so those cacos are actually still chasing me, so that's still effective. Oh, man. How did I not hit a barrel there? I killed like 3 zombies and didn't hit 1 barrel.
Maybe you should aim for the barrels and not the zombies.
You know, half of it's auto aim. I don't even. It's out of my hands, man. Ask John Carmack.
You could always turn auto aim off.
Actually, in this one, he's actually disabled free mouse look. Funnily enough.
Did I do that in this one too?
Yeah, because I have a hotkey, and I can't. You should see my crosshair comes in and it turns on free look with a hotkey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I did say, like, probably don't do that just because, especially if I want to play with, like, a mod.
Yeah, for sure. And I just didn't realize that that was kind of, like, taboo.
Well, usually, like, don't the engines allow you to override it if you so choose?
I thought so, but...
I know in GZ Doom you can definitely override it.
It probably does. It's just I have a specific line in the .ini file for turning on and off free look, which is really handy. So it doesn't work with that. But yeah, if I went in the options, I guess it might work. But did I miss something here? Oh, this is just a nice.
Yeah, just some detailing there.
Yeah.
Just to make the space look a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, the OTEX base works well with like the natural cave like formations within it as well.
Yeah, so I wanted it to feel like they basically the malleable intent map is like you getting to the elevator, and then that's like the surface level base, and then now this is like the subterranean like real UAC base where they're doing the real experimentation.
Okay, I didn't even realize.
That was the
shit,
idea.
I wasted that.
Oh no.
Is that bad?
You'll be all right.
All right, good.
I love how you were getting that shredding going on the MIDI there. The MIDI's quite good.
Thank you. It's another one of those things where it's probably going to sound repetitive after you've listened to it for about 20 minutes.
But that's like almost any song. But then again...
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but then again, like for like some of my other side jobs that I do, like there's times where I'll have the same song on loop for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Oh, dude, I do the same thing. If I really want to like focus on something, it's like I want to do the dishes. I'll like kind of drink half a beer and just listen to this like song that I'm just really into for like 30 minutes.
Like I'll be working on this translation, and yet I somehow wind up with Motown every time, and I don't get it, but it fucking works.
I never used to be the type of person to listen to something on repeat, and then I started doing it. Sometimes it's just like no other song is giving me what the song is giving me, and I need it.
Getting in that zone, man. Getting in the zone.
So you did open those bars up there now.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I just needed that shotgun box, I remembered.
That was a slick one.
Fucking got him.
Did you though? I'm okay, dude.
Well, he's okay, but I mean, you definitely.
You got me in the sense of I was surprised. Correct.
Yeah.
By the time you realized what happened, they were on you.
Doesn't hurt. Good.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's kind of.
You wouldn't do that to me?
You have to hit that twice. One of them opens the bars, and then one of them raises the lift, so it'll function as a lift again.
You didn't even... Did you suspect that I might get confused by that?
Yeah, I've watched enough videos of this to kind of learn where some of the pain points were, and I don't know.
Right.
I don't have to tell you things, but I've also actually never been able to watch somebody play one of my maps live like this and talk to them while they're doing it, so...
Oh.
I might be a little bit overzealous with some of the feedback. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that'd be an interesting thing for me to experience as well, really.
I mean, it's like... Yeah, well, yeah, it just depends on the mapper, because, like, I assume that probably the best feedback will be not helping, but if I created a map and I saw someone, like, getting stuck even for, like, 2 seconds, I'd probably, like, just really want to tell them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I totally understand why so much modern video game design is now leaning into like just make it as obvious as possible for the player and ensure that they never get stuck.
Yeah, people like say that's bad, but like video games are bigger than ever, so it's, you know, as a mainstream thing, it makes sense to just not get stuck in games and have fun. Like,
Icelink says if you find MIDI to be a pain, FM synthesis might be more to your liking. You have direct control over the tuning.
FN synthesis, is it
Like
Sega
Sega Genesis, yeah, YM chips, Yamaha.
Well, my end goal would be to use it for Doom mapping, so which I guess, you know, there's the potential to export alternate file types or use, you know, stuff like that in source ports, but I would prefer to stick to MIDI. So I can't remember who it was, but I was talking to somebody about using FL Studio to do it at some point, and I might want to give that another try, but I'm also trying way too many random projects right now, so I need to dial it in.
yeah, you're doing a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
Check that out if folks want more fun Doom content, including some fun mapping diaries on maps like... Did you do one for this one?
Yeah, but it was a little bit less, like, focused. It was just kind of me playing through the map and ranting. It was a little more closely to Clippy's type of, like, reveal map. Yeah. Turn around and there's something you can miss happening, and I came up with
I
some
literally
cool...
turned around the second that happened too.
Yeah. One time somebody like ran away and missed the entire thing, and I'm like, no, you're not looking at the cool stuff.
I spent 32 hours.
It did take me a while to figure out how to script this, because I actually didn't. This is UDMF, but I didn't actually use ACS scripting on anything that happens as a script in this.
Oh, that guy just got.
The solution for that kind of would be like to move the trigger line depth like a little more closer to the door, to the point where it's unlikely the player will have turned around, right?
It doesn't matter. It's like you can never guarantee that somebody's going to look at something at the precise moment it needs to happen unless...
Well, especially in Doom, like I have my sensitivity pretty high and I'm always scanning the environment, right? So like I literally just turned around to see what's back here and it happened, right?
Yeah, that's what most people end up doing. So I kind of learned a little lesson on how that works. You would want to like almost more or less force the player to see that.
You kind of want to force their perspective in a sense.
I mean, you can, like, UDMF, you can literally force a cutscene, right? But I guess
probably,
that feels like cheating a little bit.
I'd say probably what I'd do would be to replace that with, like, dropping bars and then a little further maybe have the things come down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, where it doesn't happen right at the same second. It happens a little later.
Oh, I'm back here. Cool. I like the way I, kind of, like, worked my way around, like, the sort of rocky edges of this former area. It's like... It's a cool way to wrap around to where you've been.
Yeah, that was totally like the goal. So I was really inspired by Valiant. Was Bushwhacked, I think, of that map. It's the map where they use where he uses Astral Dreadnought as the MIDI, and I think the first time I heard Astral Dreadnought, I was like, holy shit, this MIDI is so cool. And then, so of course, the map that I heard it in is like the most iconic map in my mind at that time. And I happened to also like the map a lot, so I was like, let me try my own riff on it, in a way, I guess. So yeah, the whole thing where you like kind of cycle through, and then you go up on cliffs, and you come back around, and stuff like that. Very inspired by Skillsaw.
Ooh, that was a neat effect. Scrollers behind those grates. Yeah, you know, I've never finished Valiant. I think I played the first 5 or 6 levels, and I was trying to do it off camera, just like fell behind with it. But I should play that maybe for the channel at some point, because that's obviously up there as one of the most beloved around.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Definitely one of those ones that got me ready to play like old school Doom again.
Oh yeah. Pretty high.
I mean, because like when I came back to it, you know, I was interested in like all the mods and stuff. That's kind of what brought me back to Doom. And then it was like, check out Valiant and just play it vanilla. And I'm like, oh shit, this is actually really fun.
Well, and that has some cool, at least some like D-hack stuff in it that livens it up.
Yes. Like the suicide bombers. I love that he puts the suicide bombers from Serious Sam in there.
Dude, I forgot that those were in. All I remember is the faster chain gun and the fucking fast imps.
Yeah, yeah.
Those things. 'Cause I don't. Oh Jesus. Well, see ya.
If he does a good trick on you once, you gotta do it again. And it's a very nice way to force you into the fight, too.
LVENdead, I gotta say, that's one thing I've been very impressed with. I mean, your maps, you know, for the first few maps you've released, so much thought and care put into them, it's obvious, but you are very good at making the player commit, pressuring them, and forcing them to take on the fight in an interesting way rather than trying to cheese it through a doorway, which is something that a lot of early mappers struggle with. So I'm, you know, and for me, you know, gameplay is usually king for me, so I notice stuff like that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I definitely put a lot of thought into stuff. I prototype my fights like a lot, and I try to break them while I'm play testing my own maps.
Yeah.
Just see where the weakest links are, and just, you know, random stuff like, oh, if I put the Cacodemon spawns here, then they'll get stuck at this part of the map, but if I move them here, or if I release them in this certain way. And, you know, the best thing about Doom is that it can get very chaotic, and that you have to kind of adapt on the fly, and that's like what, you know, makes it fun. So you can't just completely regiment everything that happens. Like, you have to let for that chaos to spiral out, but in a way that you can manage as a mapper. So it's tricky.
It's almost a bit of an oxymoron of just like, it's, well, controlled chaos.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
And in fact, right there, I was sort of talking and like, accidentally, I was like, kept triggering stuff that I was just like, I need to stop for a second.
Yeah, I believe there's a few stages in this fight that line deaths trigger depending on how far into this area you get. So,
I was a little scared because I hadn't saved, and usually I only like to save kind of, you know, between stuff popping off, so it was just like, uh-oh, I've triggered more stuff.
right, this is kind of meant to be like an extended sort of thing, so it's...
Yeah.
I kind of structure this map like it was almost like a sequence of larger mini arenas, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that can, like, well, you've got some... Sometimes when it feels too strictly regimented with, like, okay, lock an arena, lock an arena, lock an arena, like, there's definitely a lot of slaughtery maps that go for that, but you have some incidental stuff here as well that's pretty good, so.
Yeah, I'm not a huge
Feels pretty
fan
natural.
of just committing to arenas constantly. I think it kind of ruins what just makes this distinct from modern Doom.
Exactly, right? Like, the modern ones, I was a bit annoyed by that sometimes.
And I will say, I think Doom Eternal did kind of improve on it a lot, and I actually love Doom Eternal. I think it's a fantastic video game, but, you know, I also acknowledge the fact that it's... Some people, I think, are right to justify calling it, like, Doom in name only, more or less.
I like it. Like, I'll probably end up playing the modern Dooms on this channel at some point. I liked them at the time. I think for me, it's just, you know, I play them through once and it's like, that was fun, but I don't have the infinite community content, so.
True. And Doom's kind of tapped out. Like, Under the Mayo stopped making content about Doom Eternal and everything else. It's like, eh.
Who's that?
He's this guy, he was kind of big in the Doom Eternal scene, and now he kind of has branched out into, like, you know, skill-based shooters and, like, boomer shooters and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to, that's why I'm, sorry, I need to, I actually got
yeah,
there.
You probably might want to focus on this fight.
You know, it's fine, it's fine.
Whatever.
That's what I'm trying to branch out a little bit, I mean, even within classic Doom into mods and stuff, but also just other shooters, because I mean, not that classic Doom's ever going to be tapped out, I don't think, but I don't want to overload myself with it, so.
Yeah, definitely doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. That's the difference between this and, like, Doom Eternal, which is, like, you know, how many times do you want to see people do, like, really awesome, the same, like, you know, we kind of know what it looks like to be really good at that game, and we've seen what that game has to offer.
That's the thing, is like sometimes I'm surprised at how much YouTube content people make, where it's just like, yeah, you've played the game, but you can play it on the hardest difficulty, I guess, and stuff, but...
I think part of the limitation too is also that you're so limited to what you can do in terms of like making maps for Doom Eternal, because Snap Map is a very powerful tool, but at the same time you are very, very limited in terms of what it'll actually allow you to do.
Did they make that for Eternal? I thought it was only 2016.
Was it?
Yeah, the only way people have really made maps for that is they essentially like modify the scripting and change, like, you know, new monsters spawn here, and then they like, you know, tweak it so that monsters have like different stats, I think.
Randomizers and yeah.
Kind of like that, yeah, but it's like you're still running through, you know, fucking Necrovol and Urdak and shit like that.
Oh, so it's even worse. Okay, so then that would definitely explain why there isn't much to build up around it then.
Yeah, 2016 had the snap map stuff, and I kind of understand why they didn't continue with it, because it was pretty limited. Like, I even played around with it a bit, but it was like, I couldn't even make E1M1 in it, right? Like, it was so freaking limited.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have allowed for a little more power within it. I mean, in a way, it was kind of like consoleized map creation is kind of how I put it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because you can select all these nice pre-built rooms and all that, but if you don't want anything it doesn't offer, you're just absolutely limited.
They did eventually start expanding it, and I think the longer it went on, people used the prefab stuff a lot less, and they used very like meticulous placing of, you know, they eventually started having assets that could make you, it made it a lot more closer to actually like painting your map, you know, if that makes sense.
Assets or asses?
Both, actually. You know, Cyber Demon cheeks, people demand their Cyber Demon cheeks, and they find, you know, they had to cave to pressure.
Yeah, clap, clap.
It's a letter writing campaign.
One thing I noticed, by the way, I really didn't want to talk over you guys because you were talking about something else at the moment, is I really, really, really hate how, like, Revenants have a smaller collision box than their actual height, because whenever they clip through the ceilings like that, it just irks the hell out of me.
Yeah, it kind of drives me crazy too. I try to avoid it.
Like, I noticed it when he grabbed like the red key, I think it was like a couple of them spawned in like that little narrow room.
Yeah, it's kind of egregious at that, but yeah, I completely agree. I don't know why I made the room so short. If I had a
like if I see that, my first instinct whenever I'm mapping is just like, okay, raise the ceiling.
This is Stygian Anguish classic by LVENdead. Actually, I don't know, like, it would be cool if Dark Pulse, you could maybe link it in the chat.
I'll see if I can, sure.
Because you should be able to as a mod if you want. You know, you could probably just, you know, you can find it with a Google search probably, but...
Have you found any of the secrets? I don't think you have you?
Nope. I'm just that good.
Yeah, it's okay. I think the secrets are pretty obtuse in this map.
It's fine, I'm doing an anti-Sherlock run.
I mean, you're kicking ass, so you don't really need them.
Have you heard of this? The anti-Sherlock run? I'm bringing it back.
Oh, is that a thing? You just never find the secrets?
No secrets. They make it too easy, right?
I'm okay with people balancing their maps with the intent that you find, like, a secret or two.
No, absolutely. I'm actually not a fan of that, because of this situation where, like, I especially if I'm recording, I'm not the type of person to, like, really, well, that's one reason not to, but that guy sniped me for...
Yeah.
God
He's
damn.
fucking got a grudge against you.
Holy shit.
It's amazing.
That was an amazing snipe. I do like this look at this slime fall there.
Yeah, I put a lot of work into detailing this chasm. So another thing too is I unironically really like map 24 in Doom 2, the chasm.
Yeah. A lot of people do, I think.
It's one of my favorite maps. I just love the aesthetic of the poison in Doom for some reason, and so I don't know, that map just really gets me
Where
going.
this guy? I was up there. Did you fucking teleport him in?
No, I think
What the hell?
I think So when you go in that room, you know, you trip the pinky trap, then you go down the stairs and you fight the barons. That guy is there, I think, to keep you from like backing all the way up. And
Huh. So I
yeah,
just didn't see
fortifying
him,
it.
and
You just didn't encounter him.
but he totally got.
He was
some
there the whole
revenge
time.
there. Yeah.
He served his purpose.
I guess I could jump onto there, but I don't see a reason I'd want to.
There's, yeah, I should have just made him like blocking lines or blocked him in some way.
Oh, I like this curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I don't tell you one more thing. I really.
Oh,
a
sorry,
lot
you're
of-
muffled again.
Oh yeah, sorry. So a lot of people will hit that switch and then like try to run away. Just go look at what happens in front of you. Just do that. Yes.
Well, you understand why though, right? Like,
I completely understand why. The screen starts shaking and it all turns red. But this was like a cool thing that I spent a lot of time like trying to figure
look
out.
at the thing that I
Just
made.
want people to see it.
What? There's monsters left here.
It's a cool gate that opens in a cool sequence and the lights come on and everything and there's one fucking zombie.
There's
man.
one guy who's just like, fuck, I never expected that to open.
Oh,
I thought it
shit.
was protected by 20 doors. Oh, fuck. I gotta call the guys and then you just shoot them. That's really funny.
So this is like what they were hiding in that.
Whoa,
in that
drop
vault.
chains? Yo,
Yeah.
that's sick.
Yeah,
Never seen
that was
that.
another. It's. So like I said, I didn't use actual ACS scripting. So if you did ACS, you could just have a function. You could have two functions that are triggered by the same thing simultaneously. But what I ended up doing was I basically made makeshift voodoo dolls, which to my knowledge don't work in UDMF. And instead of player starts, they are health potions in voodoo doll closets. And you can have it so an item trips a line def if it's on a conveyor belt.
Wow.
It's totally stupid and obtuse. It's pointless, and nobody needs to do it that way for any reason.
Well, this was a learning experience for you, though.
I didn't want to use script, so I just did it that way. Yeah, it was kind of fun to get the timing on that all. So you trip one line def, and it's like a voodoo doll closet that makes the chains go down and the gate go up.
So I was getting fired on by some chain gunners somewhere or something. I think. I felt like I was getting hit scanned.
Yeah, you might have been.
I couldn't figure out where. It was definitely messing with me.
Probably a little unfair. Probably a little unfair.
Oh, there they are. Yeah, okay. I
Oh,
thought
boy.
they might be there.
Oh, these guys. This freaking guys.
These fucking guys here. Oh, no.
Oh no.
That was... Oh, he ran exactly where I needed him to go.
He was tired of this life. Help me
Yeah.
shuffle off this mortal coil.
He was just like,
I
I'm gonna run
found it.
right...
It took me a little bit. I apologize.
Oh, Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was funny because like he had like this two Baron meat shield that he could keep rezzing, and he was like, "I'm gonna run right by them." I'm like, "Okay, you do that, man." All right.
Yeah,
Well.
that's yeah, like I said, they don't always do what you want them to do. So there's no way to go back to the rest of the map if you once you get here. That's another
Yeah.
thing that I didn't do well.
Well,
You
I
just
know
looked at
Clippy would be
a very obvious
incensed.
secret. You were looking right at a very obvious secret.
Please
I mean-
play the map in software mode.
did
I
I
Do you
just?
still feel that
partially-
way now?
I'm partially making a you could do it either way. I think
Oh,
it looks better if. Ooh, yeah. Sorry, I was kind of making a jab at Clippy too, because that's not obvious at all. But that is a secret if you shoot that switch that you just did. I mean, yeah, I think it looks the best in software mode because it just makes all the colors really saturated and the contrast really high and stuff. You know, in the way that light banding
Well,
works. But
I do have the light
Well,
banding on with hardware, which
yeah,
I think is a
I-
cool middle ground.
That's why I was asking it, because I think that sort of comment predates them actually adding stuff like that. And I know that the shader for, like, to simulate the software under hardware is actually pretty close.
I
Like,
think
not
it's a
perfect,
really-
I think it's
perfect.
pretty good.
I think it's a really cool middle ground because UDMF stuff doesn't always work with software rendering, like especially fog, right? So like,
Yeah.
I wanted something that would just I don't like having to change settings like every time, so but I do like, I prefer software now, so it looks really good. I will say if you turn free look on, it's a bit weird because the lines kind of move up and down like diagonally, but I don't really notice it. I find the extra atmosphere that it adds is great, so definitely people out there, check that out if you want a nice middle ground. There's the link in the chat.
Yeah, I think I simulate the software renderer under mine as well.
Yeah, I was bummed out because I actually wanted to use the software for GZ Doom, but I played a level with fog where it's just like a solid color. Oh, there you go.
That's it. Yeah, you did it. It's like
Yeah, you got the little
dot.
Half an hour almost on the dot.
the hell zone at the end of the tech base.